Yes, you'll still be in chains as a slave, or this because you get shot, but more or less like this, so you can receive blessings. This is the prayer. In Jesus Christ's name, Jah Rastafari, Jah Rastafari, Jah Rastafari. And to the 227th heir to the throne of God himself, King Haile Selassie, Jah Rastafari. Yes. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. And of course, needless to say, this is the KTNG morning show. And I'm here, and I will basically get you through this today. As you know, it is Friday, and we got a whole bunch of topics here about hot oysters, crackers, and pig slop. So like I name these things, the stuffy nose and so forth. But we're gonna get this show on the road here, and we're gonna make sure that you have something to laugh about, or to think about, or to ponder, or to possibly, quite possibly, find a solution. So, without a doubt, ladies and gentlemen, and without further hesitation, as we go through this, once again, being mocked by the beasties, just like so. This is, and we are live here. I'm the freak on the peak, and if you listen to me for the, it's like this golden aura, like right there, right in front of the mountains and everything. So when I see that in the morning, I'm like, wow, that's a different perspective. But nature is awesome. So let's have some fun today. Enjoy nature, whether it's rain, snow, or we're basically just bounded by this damn groundhog. Anyway. You know, let's get on with some of our stuff that's happening and whatnot here and in the community altogether. Let's see. Okay, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Okay, let's see. It's National Crime Victims' Rights Week. And let's see, there's going to be an open public meeting Monday, April 9th, 10 a.m. at Leaders Run at the Pioneers Museum Park for law enforcement and local advocacy department leaders at the corner of Nevada and Vermeil Avenues, Colorado Springs, Colorado. And then on Wednesday, April 11th from 5 to 7 p.m. at the presentations of Mindfulness and Community Safety, CSPD Community Room, 705 South Nevada Avenue, Colorado Springs, Colorado. And then on Saturday, April 21st, at 9 a.m., Victims' Right Week, 5K and 1 mile walk at North Monument Valley Park register at Victims' Right Week, ces.org. The 5K runs $30 and 1 mile walk is $25 under the age of 12. $10. For more information, contact CSPD Mary Dennis at 719-444-5729. Again, that's 719-444-7529. And EPSO, Elizabeth Moe, at, it's Moe, as in Moe Larry Carrier, 719-520-7272. Again, that's 719-520-7272. And also the 4th Judicial District Attorney's Office, Joy Elder, at 719-520-6104. Again, it's 719-520-6104. National Crime Victims Week here in Colorado Springs, so make sure you get a chance to go to any of these events. And the thing that we are dealing with crime, because as our title suggests, this is where we do skewer or satire as much in the news as we possibly can here. So let's see what kind of opinions I can. Join the conversation. Join the conversation. We're live this morning. We also have a fun drive that's coming up by Sunday, so stick around for that. I'll make sure you guys get notifications throughout the day. And let's see where we go as we look at today in history. And let's see what we got here. Let's see. 1841, John Tyler inaugurated this. Pretty good dude. Anyway, as we all know, Cheeseburger strikes again. The bloatus of the POTUS. The man who is heralded and synonymous with worldwide ruin. And of course, our great leader in fascism today, besides Mussolini reincarnated, we give you the Cheeseburger Report. So here it is. This jackass is all the way down in West Virginia, basically just, you know, throwing away what was supposed to be like a scripted thing for him to say without him getting into trouble. But according to the Washington Post 13 hours ago, and we saw this from yesterday, Cheeseburger conjures a new immigrant rape epidemic. Okay, now considering that he wants to cut funding from Planned Parenthood, this should be an aforementioned thing that that is not happening to white women because Planned Parenthood basically has held down the lowest records for, say, teen pregnancy in black and brown communities. Yeah. So this is basically coming in competition with the low fertility rate in white men. So let's see what our sinful Adam is up to. Anyway, Cheeseburger, your jefe, your bloatus of the POTUS, your president beast in least, has returned to the controversial and again unproven claim that arguably launched his 2016 campaign accusing migrants headed for the United States of epic rape and the countries they come from sending criminals northward. To the north side, to the north side. All right. But Thursday, West Virginia, Cheeseburger addressed the so-called migrant caravan that he has been tweeting and warning about for days. He goes on to say they're not putting their good ones. And remember my opening remarks from Tower when I opened, everybody said, "Oh, he was so tough," and I used the word rape, R-A-P-E, rape. And yesterday it came out where this journey coming up, the women are raped at levels that nobody's ever seen before. They don't want to mention that. Okay. First and foremost, I don't think any migrant is just going to come over here and just start raping white women. You guys had a problem with that when you had slaves. You look for a black woman, okay? Why don't you ask Jackie Robinson about that, okay? Try and trust me on this one, okay? So, as Cheeseburger's claim in 2015, there's almost no actual evidence on which to base his claim, okay? It's not clear what Cheeseburger means by, quote-unquote, yesterday it came out. Okay, there was a lot of things that came out, such as like your sons being complete idiots. Okay, but given there don't appear to be any mainstream news reports of a rape epidemic taking place in the caravan. There are only mentions of rape with regard to the caravan in recent days. In fact, referred to criminal behavior that the migrants have been trying to escape. Trying to escape. How does escape sound like rape? Unless you're a rapper and you have to put it in some sort of like context, like Nirvana. Okay, so in their home countries or along the road. Okay, so I don't know what fascination he came up with that, but then again, the Center for Public Integrity reported Wednesday the path to asylum isn't easy if they're able to enter and pass that initial test in a request for asylum. Migrants must then attempt to convince the United States officials they face mortal danger, often because of extortion, attempted recruitment, rape, and death threats. Okay, so if people are basically trying to escape from all of that, then along the journey to get to, say, like, you know, the United States, from Mexico to the United States, and if these women are raped in that particular sense, then why is it happening on the United States within the United States of those women being raped by United States citizens? Perhaps the facts may be skewed, don't you think? Los Angeles Times report this week, meanwhile, noted how such migrants often, quote unquote, fall victim to such crimes, but rapes committed by people they encounter along the way rather than by one another. Yeah. So if you got some misaligned, segregationists and of course mercenaries, state mercenaries as they call them, that are out there hunting down migrants while they're in the desert, making somewhere between a 2,000 to 3,000 mile trek just to get away from, evil, just to get away from pure evil. And they are encountered by, people who want to shoot them, people who want to, separate them from their children, people who basically want to rape their women. That's happening in the United States. And if they ever came to pass that they were pressed for charges of this sort of thing, then what would you think would happen to the relationships between Mexico and the United States at that point? Would they be stemmed? Would they be hemmed up? Would they be tied? You know, that sort of thing. That sort of thing. So along the way, you know, if they're encountering, you know, criminal elements and they're trying to escape a criminal element, kind of makes it seem like, you know, there's a gang mentality all the way around, isn't it? I mean, the police are a gang, aren't they? I mean, you can actually sit up, you know, with the use of foul language. I had a friend of mine basically called the cop a pig. He was ran into jail that same day out here in Colorado Springs. And guess what happened? He got off because of freedom of speech. But that lets you know right then and there, are we running into a police state, or are we still in a police state with a little softer, more cues because we're sitting around voting off our, you know, our privacy and our individual rights left and right, to a point where we become products, or as they would say, property of our government. Well, we're definitely property of the government as it is now. You have a social security number, you have an ID. Yeah, you do. It pretty much makes it, you know, your reason for being in this society. It's a way of documenting you. Do you know how to get off the grid? I don't think so. Not in this technological thing, unless you know your batteries run dry. I will have a discussion about batteries in a minute too. But I do want to focus on one thing. If we're going to sit up and make all these allegations of people who are basically going through these sort of things, why don't we have reporters, basically, go in as, investigative reporters, not mentioning who they are, and record the entire journey and say, okay, this is our bit of like what goes on out there from our perspective, that sort of thing. I mean, what if this was the other way around? What if the United States had to flock into Mexico because of some pandemic or some sort of like, natural disaster? What would happen then? Would they basically say, oh no, you're an illegal American? Wouldn't that be fun? I mean, who would get in and who would not get in? Well, let's see. There's about a few white people that might get in there, but other than that, the rest of y'all, forget it. It ain't happening. Because there's a lot of like other races that like live in Mexico to this day. You got an African population. You don't believe me? Why don't you ask Lupita Longo? Okay, she comes from out of Mexico, and she became the first Black Latina to ever get an Oscar nomination. What about that? Yeah, there's also not too many white people, unless they're going to like say like a tourist vacation spot. But what are your thoughts? You think that there will ever become a time where America is not allowed into Mexico anymore, and they come up with the same nationalistic thing and commit acts of fascism, and then we start crying, oh, they can't do? Yeah, but if the shoe's on the other foot, then what happens? Yeah, see, we don't think that far ahead now, do we? But we should be a nation without borders. I mean, there's only one invisible border, and that's the foundation of racism that this country is founded on, that keeps people from, even thinking about doing some crazy stuff to come here illegally. But when the emergency is extortion, attempted murder, recruitment into gangs and death threats, what choices do you have? Do you sit there and you fight these people? These people who have no combat skills whatsoever, and you want to have them fighting, whatever? It's brilliant. Just allow them to commit the genocide within themselves. Or is that fratricide? I don't know. Anyway, speaking of gang mentalities, it is said here that there are things that are like, genuinely, unrealistic. But one thing is realistic is that there is a lack of opportunity. There is a lack of not just only economic opportunity, but also cultural opportunity. And therefore, there are things that are going on in Los Angeles that really need to be a forefront as to why is it systemic? How is it that America can actually sit up and basically brainwash, and I say brainwash, okay, other cultures into firebombing black families and members who basically plan out, coordinated attacks. And these members of a Latino street gang have admitted to carrying out a racially motivated firebombing attack on black families in Los Angeles housing project prosecutors announced Thursday. Men belonging to the Big Hazard gang. Now needless to say, if anybody is relatively familiar with Hazard, this is where we got Antonio Villaraigosa from. Okay, the mayor of Los Angeles. One time where Los Angeles, yeah, he belonged to Hazard. I thought you knew. Okay. Now, these guys will plead guilty to federal hate crimes stemming from the 2014 attack, according to a written plea agreements. In exchange for confessions, prosecutors, the U.S. Attorney Nicola Hanna agreed to seek some leniency for the men when they are sentenced. Each faces more than 30 years in federal prison. How can you ask for leniency when you are firebombing black families? Are you that much freaking malinchista to sell out your culture for American hate? Obviously so. The nighttime attack on Mother's Day 4 years ago laid bare long-standing racial animosity Latino gangs have stoked in the Ramona Gardens housing development and elsewhere. The Big Hazard gang claimed the housing project in the Boyle Heights neighborhood and its territory, and the men set out to terrorize black families into fleeing their apartments, according to the statement released by Hanna. Now, these three jackasses, okay, these putos, as I would like to call them, okay, are basically, guilty of this thing. Now, there are 3 other members of the gang previously pleaded guilty to participating in the bombing. As part of plea deals announced this week, prosecutors will not require the 3 men to testify against the alleged ringleader of the group and the 8th man who have maintained their innocence in the face of the trial. Details of the early guilty pleas have been kept under seal. How can you sit there and say not guilty when you caught red-handed? See, that's the problem with you little gangbanging suck butts out there. You think you can win the world by doing as much bad as possible for the name of La Raza. That is garbage. That is garbage. As a matter of fact, if it hadn't been for the black communities, you guys wouldn't have any place to live, period. You don't think so? Look at Kelly Park and Compton. All right? I can justify this. I can justify saying this. I can justify saying this because you know better. But if you want to act like a bunch of, controlled little freaks and so forth, if you want to be controlled, fine. Be controlled by the rhetoric of racism. Be controlled by the stigma that your culture brings. And the reason why Cheeseburger be down on you guys left and freaking right. Y'all can make all the fuck Donald Trump records you want. As long as you act fucked up, guess what? You're going to stay fucked up because you don't know anything better. All right? So unless you change your ways to do something to help the black communities that you are so afraid of, okay? You're afraid of women and children, okay? You are guys afraid of women and children, okay? If you're that afraid of them living in your neighborhoods and so forth, why don't you go walk up to the neighborhood and say, hey, welcome to the neighborhood. I'm your neighbor. God don't like ugly. And what makes you think you're going to be redeemed for any of this crap? Okay? You might pray from the Pope if you were in Mexico, but this is here, Jack. They don't pray to nothing. So the attack was discussed at a gang meeting in early May of 2014, prosecutors allege, where the purported ringleader, Carlos Hernandez, not like El Chato Borro, 31, told gang members they would use Molotov cocktails and firebomb apartments of some of the 23 black families living in Ramona Gardens at the time. Okay, despite the fact that the place is named Ramona, okay, does not give you like top choice of what areas you guys basically run. Okay, is it a territorial drug thing? Are you trying to establish a cartel? Or are you trying to work with the cartels in Nogala? What is it, guys? What is it? Oh, that's right, the Treaty of Hidalgo. Guadalupe Hidalgo. That's right, you're supposed to get the land back. But this is not about the way of going about it, I don't think. So needless to say, Hernandez said the order for the attack had come from figures in the Mexican Mafia, a prison gang that controls many Hispanic gangs in Southern California, according to court filings. Now, the Mexican Mafia that basically sits in jail is like, is a facade itself. Anytime that you let some Pocho or Gavacho run your organization, okay, you had a Gavacho run your organization, say much about who you really are. It doesn't say much. It just tells me that you're that fucking weak, all right? At the second meeting, And then it's assigned each gang member a specific job: breaking apartment windows, lighting the devices, throwing them inside. He also handed out disguises and gloves, according to the indictment. Prosecutors allege the men didn't carry cell phones to prevent police from tracking their movements and profusely avoided security cameras as they sneaked up on their targets. After midnight, the men smashed windows of 4 apartments they had scouted out and threw in the lit explosives. According to the plea agreement, black families, including women and children who were sleeping during the attack, lived in 3 of the apartments, the prosecutor said. Black women and black children, you're afraid of them. Wow. What, is it because you can't check them to see what kind of gang affiliation they may have? Or they're old dudes just like running around saying, oh, wait a minute, that's my mama from my other baby's mama. And, of one of many of my baby's mama. I'm going to come down there with my set and I'm going to whoop all everybody, like that whole block up. What does that perpetuate? It perpetuates the stigma that many of you Latino gang members out there are basically stuck, thinking that, you can do things by, hate and anger and force just to prove a point. But against women and children, why do that against men? Oh, that's right. The black gorilla family would definitely have some say-so about that. And the Blood and the Crips will probably say, since we've squashed our beef, let's try and squash this beast over here. So after midnight, the men smashed windows of 4 apartments. They had scattered out. And the mother, who was sleeping on a couch with her infant in her arms, narrowly missed being struck by one of the firebombs, the statement said. Quote, it's a miracle that no one was injured in these racially motivated attacks, Hannah said, but the defendants have admitted their goal was to drive African Americans out of this housing facility. This simply will not be tolerated, and we will take any and all steps necessary to protect the civil rights of every person who lives in the United States, even those who come here as migrants. Okay? But unless they're being raped, okay, by their own, or raped in the United States by our own. So, you can't put, good on that much evil. It has to spread out. And hopefully there are going to be some people with some sense to realize how it is being set up for them to be brainwashed to accept racism. So the racial friction persisted after the attack, according to the indictment, months later. Prosecutors alleged a gang member confronted a black family and, quote, warned that they should leave Ramona Gardens or that they too would get firebombed, unquote. The case is the latest of several over the last 2 decades against Latino street gangs accused of using violence to push rival black gangs out of certain neighborhoods that they basically just wanted any damn way. They just simply wanted it more. A few years ago, federal prosecutors charged members of a Latino gang with a campaign to push blacks out of an unincorporated Florence Firestone neighborhood that allegedly resulted into 20 homicides over 3 years. In the Harbor Gateway district of LA, a Latino gang is accused of targeting African Americans, including 14-year-old Cheryl Green, whose 2006 death became a rallying point against such attacks. And members of a Latino gang in the Highland Park section of Los Angeles were convicted of a series of assaults and killings in the early 1990s. In Ramona Gardens, the Big Hazard gang tried to keep blacks out for more than a generation. It's still not working, is it, guys? Okay? Why don't I ask Antonio Vergosa about this whole thing? And why don't he, go down and parlay this thing? So on August 30th, 1992, an explosion ripped through the pantry of the Ramona Gardens apartment where black people and their 7 children lived. Another black family across the street had been attacked minutes earlier. At the time, 7 black families lived in the project. After the attack, they left. For the next 2 decades, virtually no blacks lived in Ramona Gardens. Big Hazard had deep connections to the Mexican mafia, which directed attacks on blacks, authorities allege. Where are the Black Panthers? Okay? You guys talk all that crap about, trying to unify. Where are the Brown Berets? Are you into this segregationist crap as well? Why don't you just build a Latino statue right there in Ramona Gardens, of Che Guevara? No, that's right. He was Cuban. Let's see, Pancho Villa. No, he's being exploited on a lot of Mexican products. How about Death Row Joe, who's still sitting on death row at this point? Yeah, put up a monument of him. So that way blacks can understand what oppression is. It's not like we had a lot of Confederate statues that are basically in that same reign, but hey, we got to start somewhere in LA, right? Yeah. Let's just bring on down to the ignorance. Oh, here we go. Because they sell it cheap and you buy it by the truckloads. Okay. So eventually black families started moving back to Ramona Gardens. a sign of progress in the community and a city that was working hard to put the violence of the 1990s behind it. Then came 2014 attack. At least one resident said at the time that she would ask for an emergency transfer out of the complex. Others insisted they would stay. In late 2016, about 4% of nearly 1,800 people living in Ramona Gardens were black, according to the most recent figures available. So what does that tell you? Fear and intimidation to keep the black man from doing anything. Fear and intimidation to keep the black woman from raising a child. Fear and intimidation for what? Because you want to make it into a drug haven, a retirement home for drug users and drug pushers and so forth. So that way there's no retribution. We're not going to judge you. You already basically put yourself in the book of life as being a bunch of jackasses and assholes. All right. Fact of the matter is, people, that's never going to work, and you're never going to see the light of day either. Okay. We're here at the halfway point, people. We got some more good, gracious stories here waiting to happen. We are definitely waiting for those to happen. Okay, that's right. Well, my mark of the beast on my forehead lets you know I'm a consumer. Yeah, as long as I buy it. Anyway, this is the KTNG Morning Show. I'm your host, the Grits Man. That's right. DJ Sucker Punches on the ones and twos, cutting it up, doing the through and so forth. Debuting Lyrical El Ray's latest venture. So we're gonna be playing that throughout most of the day. Pretty much throughout the hip hop morning. And you'll get to hear it again on Saturdays as well. So please hold on. I got you. And that's another thing. For all you artists out there that got something, you don't want to put it on the station, by all means, hit me up. All you got to do is just get to our website, ktng860am.org, and you will see a portal that will allow you to either say, yo, check out my message, leave a message, and so I'll get those. Also, we also have a fund drive coming up on Sunday. It's going to be for a good 2.5, 3 weeks. Who knows? It's going to be done. We got a Facebook $1,000 fundraise challenge. So this is a $1,000 fundraise challenge. And need people. Basically, we need you all, fans alike, everybody, contribute and do their part and so forth and support community-based radio, as well as broadcasting free thought and, of course, helping me get this apprenticeship program restarted so we can have some real cool things happening that we can all enjoy. Join the conversation, people. Darren, what's going on? Let's go. Oh, no. You got to be kidding me. What the hell happened? Oh, my God. I killed it. Oh, my God. Okay, hang on, people. All right. I had some technical issues here. My Facebook thing just completely crashed on me. So I got to do this all over again. Okay. What are you talking about? Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Okay, somewhere. Okay, looks like I got booted off Facebook. I got booted off Facebook? Is that it? Or do I have to start everything? Oh my God, I can't believe this. I just got booted off Facebook. This is great. Oh, okay. Well, I can't stop it on YouTube, so if you're listening to the show, my Facebook thing just died on me. Oh God. We not have these accidents and everything, but they kind of happen. Anyway, as I was saying, we were basically, let's see, hold up, I'll tell you what, why don't we do this? Maybe we can get this happening another way here. You know, I'm all about improvising here, as you can see. Okay, so, oh, yes, let's see, okay. Where we at? Yeah, where we at? Okay. Oh, there we go. I know. Ray, I know. Dude, it's so funny. Yes. I'm marking the days, dude. I'm marking the days. It's kind of interesting, though. Hold up. Let's see if we can get this happening here. Okay, let's see if we can get this. God, there it is. L, if you're listening, dude, this is your shot, dude. This is your shot. Yeah, check it out. I'm,